the honorable members of the committee of the Quadcom, and also good afternoon to my fellow resource speakers. Actually, Your Honors, Mr. Chair, mahaba-haba po yung aking presentation. And I think you will understand as I go along bakit mahaba. But I'll try to speed it up. Best efforts ko po. So can we now have the first slide? So my presentation here is actually supplemental to my presentation during the last hearing, the 9th joint public hearing held last October 22. At natatandaan niyo po na nasabi ko nung hearing na yon na yung sinasabi ni Colonel Ruina Garma na Davao model, na yun daw ang gusto na ipasunod o i-adopt ng dating Pangulo nung naging Pangulo na siya dyan sa war on drugs, walang iba ang tinutukoy noon kundi yung DDS. So ang una kong tatalakayin, ano ho ba yung DDS? Lalo na may ilan-ilan hong mga resource persons na tila baga they're feigning ignorance about the existence of DDS. What is the DDS? Yung DDS ho kasi, Davao Death Squad, ay actually coined po yun ng Davao media. Kasi dun nga ho sa mga sunod-sunod at prevalent na mga street executions noon sa Davao City in the 1990s and 2000s. So yung media po ang nagbansag na DDS or Davao Death Squad. Ang nag-organize po ng DDS ay walang iba kundi si MRRD, then Mayor Rodrigo Duterte, Roa Duterte, and Major Ernesto Macasaet in 1988. Its PNP component ay ang tawag naman Anti-Crime Task Force, and yung meron din siyang civilian component ang tawag Lambada Boys. Ang pinaka-mission po ng DDS was to eliminate mostly small-time criminals such as drug pushers, drug addicts, pickpockets, and neighborhood toughs. Yun po ang madalas nilang biktima. Pero makikita nyo po mamaya, sa ipapakita ko yung mga iba-ibang insidente nung mga operations ng DDS. Meron din ho silang mga pinapatay na kahit hindi naman mga drug personalities. Pero pwede natin masabi na karamihan ng mga tinatarget nila ay yung mga street pushers and mga petty criminals. The list of suspects was drawn up by barangay-level civilian volunteer organizations and barangay officials, and targets for elimination were solely approved by MRRD. Noong 2001 po, naging Anti-Crime Task Force siya, yung na-reorganize yung Anti-Crime Task Force, kasi po yan ang unang pangalan, into the Heinous Crime Investigation Section or Task Force, HCIS, ng Davao City Police Office. The DDS was organized into several assassination units, consisting of 1 police manhandler and 3 civilian assassins responsible for eliminating suspected criminals and targeted individuals as approved by MRRD. Nasabi ko rin po last time na in exchange, those DDS members ay meron po silang rewards, bonuses, and perks galing mismo sa MRRD sa kanyang confidential funds sa Mayor's Office. Meron ho yung HCIS as DDS, meron po siyang policeman complement of around 20 officials led by Inspector Fulgencio Pavo, who was succeeded by Senior Inspector Junicio Abude. Karamihan po ng mga policemen na yan na supposedly members ng DDS ay in-identify po ni Edgar Matubato nung nag-appear siya sa Senado noon sa aming inquiry sa Senate Committee on Justice and Human Rights. Doon po sa hearing na yon, they all denied na miyembro sila ng DDS. Maski si Las Cañas noon, si Arturo Las Cañas, nung unang pag-appear sa Senado, dinenay din niya na walang DDS. Pero later on, binawi po niya, rinikan po niya sometime in February 27 na totoo na merong DDS. Meron pong 4 na dumping grounds yung DDS. Yung pinakamalaki, yung Laud Gold Camp, Firing Range, Quarry in Barangay Maa, under SPO4 Bienvenido Laud. Another is yung known as the Gaisano property, guarded by June Casas alias Commander Toothpick, which contains around 200 bodies. The third is the Mandog mass grave under SPO3 Jimtan. The fourth are the waters around Samal Island. So maski doon. Si Matobato ang caretaker ng mayor of the Mayor Antalans Resort. Yung biktima ho ng DDS, according to data dun sa investigasyon namin at saka yung mga sinasabi nila Matobato and Las Cañas, numbered anywhere from 2,000 to 4,000 from 1988 to 2008. Sino naman po si Edgar Matobato? Siyempre kilalang-kilala na po yung pangalan, but exactly sino po siya? Siya po yung among the first members of the DDS. Ang tawag nila sa kanila, nung una, ay Lambada Boys. At 18 years old in 1977, miyembro po siya ng CHDF, yung Civilian Home Defense Force, up to the time when it became the CAFGO under the Cory administration. Noong 1988, recruit siya ni MRRD as his personal, recruit siya sa DDS nung personal bodyguard ni MRRD named Dodong Pagidupon. He was officially employed by the Anti-Crime Task Force of Davao City in 1988. And then later, kasama na rin siya sa Heinous Crime Section of the Investigation and Detection Division of the DCPO in 2001. Pinangalanan din niya po. Makikita niyo sa screen kung sino pa yung mga ibang members ng Lambada Boys. Umalis po siya sa DDS noong September 2013 against the wishes of his colleagues kasi renamed up siya at tinorture siya ng mga kasamahan niya for the murder of Cebu businessman Richard King in June 2014. So umalis po siya sa Davao, lumapit siya sa CHR regional office in another region, not Davao region. Ayaw niyang pumunta doon. And eventually, napunta na rin po siya sa DOJ where he was placed under the Witness Protection Program. Pero nung nanalo na po si Mr. Duterte as president noong May 2016, umalis po si Matobato from the WPP of DOJ. Nag-testify po siya, kagaya ng sinabi ko, in the Senate Committee on Justice and Human Rights Inquiry in September of 2016. And then eventually, he filed a criminal complaint against Duterte and the DDS members with the Office of the Ombudsman. Hindi ko na po alam exactly kung ano ang pinaka-status ng criminal complaint na yan ni Mr. Matobatong. Alam ko po, pending pa ho yun. Now, allow me, on the basis of the complaint affidavit of Edgar Matobato, na meron po akong kopya, ito po yung sinabit niya sa Office of the Ombudsman. Nandyan nga po. Next slide. So the first page and the last page are being shown. Ito pong susunod na mga slides, mabilisan lang po. Ito po yung mga specific incidents of killing according to Matobato upon orders of then Mayor Rodrigo Duterte. Mabilisan lang. You can take a look at that. 1992, 1993, 2002, 2003. Yan po si June Porras pala. I think he's a media guy. 2007, 2010, 2013. Hindi ko na po mga babanggitin kasi medyo para ho mas mabilis. But those are shown in the slides. Merong 2013. Yan ang mga alam na mga incidents of killings ni Edgar Matobato. Meron siyang personal or first-hand knowledge about these killings at ang sabi niya, these are upon the orders of MRRD. Now, nung tinanong po siya under question number 23, nung kanyang complaint affidavit na sinabit sa ombudsman, what is the role of Mayor Rodrigo Duterte in all of this? Now, we quoted verbatim yung sagot niya under question 23. Makikita niyo po dyan. Siya ang nag-uutos sa pagpatay. Kapag kilala ang biktima o big time, pumupunta si Duterte sa Laod Quarry para siguraduhin na yung nga ang target at para manood sa pag-chop-chop ng bangkay. Minsan siya rin mismo, next please. This is the continuation of the answer of Mr. Matubato dun sa tanong, what is the role of Mayor Rodrigo Duterte? Minsan siya rin mismo ang pumapatay. Nag-cite siya ng one example that happened in 1993. Nainkwento daw nila yung isang NBI agent ng pangalan Hamisola na nakabalagbag yung kanyang pick-up sa daan, sinita siya ni Police Chief Inspector Pavo, sabay sigaw ng, sa'yo tong daan? May kausap daw na babae yung NBI, pero napansin ni Pavo na may baril, kaya bumunot siya. Mas mabilis bumunot yung NBI agent at binaril niya si Pavo sa kamay at sa binti hanggang bumagsak. Pinagbabaril na rin namin pero magaling gumulong-gulong yung NBI sa ilalim ng sasakyan. Nahirapan kami pero tinamaan rin namin. May tumawag sa grupo namin kay Mayor. Pagdating ni Mayor, inubos niya ang 2 magazine ng kanyang Uzi sa katawan ng NBI agent. Halos 200 bala ang binuhos sa NBI agent, M14, 45, tsaka Armalite. Overkill talaga. Walang kaso na nangyari kasi kinausap ni Mayor si Director Hernandez ng NBI Davao. That is from this complaint affidavit as filed with the Office of the Ombudsman. Sino naman po si Arturo Las Cañas? Kilalang-kilala na rin po natin ang kanyang pangalan. But who exactly is he? Isa po siyang pulis ng DCPO from 1982 to 2016 and naging operations team leader ng DDS. Nagsimula siya sa pagka-PO3 in 1989 at nag-retire po siya as SPO4. In 1989, na-assign siya sa Mayor's Unit of the DCPO kasama yung ibang mga miyembro ng Anti-Crime Task Force. Yung Anti-Crime Task Force plus the Lambada Boys comprised the DDS from 1988 up to 1998. MRRD's co-founder of the DDS was Major Ernesto Macasait. Pinangalanan din po niya, nasa slides, yung ibang members of the Anti-Crime Task Force. Pero bago yung DDS, part po si Arturo Las Cañas ng Intel Group of Task Force Aguila, where he found out that then fiscal RRD, Rodrigo Roa Duterte, was a covert member of the People's Court of the CPP-NPA in Davao and tried policemen, soldiers, and other government officials in absentia to be later assassinated by the NPA Sparrow Unit. Sabi pa ni Las Cañas, nakuha daw po yung ideya ni MRRD of putting up the DDS from the NPA People's Court Sparrow Unit. In 2001, na-reorganize po yung DDS into the Heinous Crime Investigation Section Task Force at si Las Cañas po ang naging team leader for field operations. Sinabi rin ni Mr. Las Cañas na yung nanlaban bonus actually originated from the DDS model. Ang tawag po nila noon is salida or scenario. He testified before the Senate Committee on Justice and Human Rights in September 26. That was when he first testified before the Senate. I was still the presiding officer as the chairperson of that committee before I was ousted. And he denied Matubato's accusations. Pero he resurfaced in January 2017. Kung natatandaan niyo po, meron siyang press con. At sinabi na nga niya, inamin na niya na talagang miyembro siya ng DDS, na talagang meron DDS. In February 2017, nakakulong na po ako noon, he was again presented as a witness of the Senate Committee on Public Order and corroborated Matubato's testimony on the DDS. In 2020, he was granted limited immunity by the ICC and submitted his 186-page statement. I also have a copy of the Las Cañas ICC affidavit. It's thick, it's very thick, masyado pong detalyado, consists of 186 pages, and 295 paragraphs. Yan po yung kanyang affidavit. You will notice na pirma lang po ang nakalagay dyan. Ang explanation po dyan is that this was signed by Mr. Las Cañas before he formally submitted this to the ICC. Kasi presumably, dun na siya mag-o-oath before the ICC investigators. But in a video, next one please, in-authenticate niya yung signatures niya dito sa mga affidavit na to na may kopya, may kopya dito mga affidavit, na ito daw, okay, can we play that please? Let's play that please. That is Mr. Arturo Las Cañas. Where is the sound? The volume please. Audio.
Audio, please. Technical team. This is Mr. Las Cañas.
Yes, Your Honor. Mahaba lang, naging mahaba na yung kanyang.
So in effect, he is saying that that's
Yes.
it. No, he's going to sign in front of.
He signed it last October 8, 2020. And in November, yun na po yung pag-submit. Actually, he submitted it on that day, October 8. My information is that he submitted it on that day. Also, nung inauthenticate niya, yung 186-page affidavit. Pero sa ICC po, the next month, November 2020, he was granted limited immunity as a witness. Ano naman po yung mga DDS operations and victims according to Las Cañas and all stated here in his ICC affidavit, and before that actually meron din siyang affidavit nung binawi na niya nun sa Senate, but that's a shorter affidavit. Ito po yon. No, that's not. Where is it? Yung kanina.
Audio, please.
Mr. Chair, before we give the floor to allow the good senator to continue, may we request, Mr. Chair, the good senator to provide us the Quadcom, the copies of those affidavits for our individual appreciation. Thank you, Mr.
I intend to do that, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
After
Thank you.
today's hearing,
Thank you, Madam
all
Senator.
the
Thank you,
affidavits that
Mr.
I
Chair.
mentioned. So this is the first affidavit of Mr. Las Cañas. This was executed February 19, 2017. Nung binawin na niya po yung kanyang unang testimonya denying the existence of the DDS and his role in the DDS. Nung binawi niya, inamin na niya po na meron talagang DDS and he was very much part of it, yung DDS. Ito po, dito sa Pilipinas na sinubmit niya. Di hamak na mas comprehensive, mas kompleto, mas detalyado yung kanyang ICC affidavit. This whole thing here is his ICC affidavit. Mamamangha ko kayo kung magbasahin nyo tong ICC affidavit. Napakamaraming detalye. So in a nutshell, bibilisan ko na ho, DDS operations and victims according to Las Cañas. Ayan.
Excuse me, ma'am. You have a soft copy of that documents? Soft copy.
We will,
Kasi it's better for us to have the soft copy as well.
yes,
For us to read it.
but right now, not yet.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
are
Okay.
preparing this. After today's hearing, I will submit
Thank you.
all
Thank
of
you, ma'am.
this. Thank you. Next slide, please. DDS operations and victims. Yeah. According to Las Cañas. Next slide. Sunod-sunod na po yan. Marami pong slides yan. Pero para ho hindi tumagal, yan ho natin dyan lahat. Those are the DDS operations and victims na alam ni Las Cañas because he either participated or in fact has knowledge about it. And in this It was upon the orders of MRRD. Ayan, marami po yan. Next slide. Iba-ibang killings. Some are indeed suspected drug personalities. Iba petty criminals. Lalo na yung tungkol dun sa the brothers. Noong 2000, the killing of Aliyah brothers, all were minors. Apat po sila, lahat. Pinatay different dates dahil mga solvent users and mga out-of-school youth at mga involved daw sa mga gang riots. Pero apat na magkakapatid. Hanggang ngayon, yung kanilang ina, naghahanap ng hustisya. Marami po yan. So we're now on 2014. Meron pa nga ako dito in 2013 to 2014. The killing of Mr. Christopher Yu, a Davao City businessman and brother of suspected carnapper Ryan Yu alias Bakten, as ordered by Bongo, cleared and approved by Mayor Rodrigo Duterte.
Mr. Chair, Senator De Lima, I just would like to mention the killing of Alia brothers
Aliyah.
to Attorney Conde, di ba? Yung apat na pinatay.
They know that.
You please
Opo.
tell us kung ba't wala sila rito ngayon. Just
Ah,
tell us why they're not here today. Because we invited them.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First and foremost, di po ako attorney. Ako po isang hamak na researcher lang po. Ito po si Attorney Conti po. Ako po ay si Carlos Conde. Opo, kasama po ako sa mga inanyayahan ng committee na mag-testify ngayon dito. At initially pumayag po si Mrs. Alia na pumunta dito. Kaso at the last minute, she backed out, and also her relatives and supporters because of concerns about her security. So yun po ang sinabi, kaya hindi po siya nakapunta dito.
Taga saan po sila?
Sa Davao City po, doon pa rin po sila nakatira sa Davao City.
Go ahead, Senator De Lima.
Nakita niyo po napakahabang listahan ng mga DDS operations and victims according to Mr. Las Cañas. Detalyado po yan sa kanyang ICC affidavit. Every incident, the time, the who, the why, the what. Nandyan po sa kanyang ICC affidavit. So, kasama po sa mga DDS operations na yan, so go on, ito yung some of them, ito naman po yung mga specific incidents of massacre. Massacre because the victims are in a number, I mean more than one, more than two. So massacre upon orders of MRRD according to Las Cañas. 1992 to 1995, hindi lang siya sigurado kung which of this year. Abduction and massacre of the Patasaha family in the Laod Quarry. 1996, massacre of 5 chicken farm workers in Laod Quarry. 1999 to 2000, 2 cases of abduction and killing of 3 Muslim individuals suspected of being big-time shabu pushers from Cotabato City. The abduction was led by then Police Major Ronald Bato de la Rosa. Abduction and killing of 2 Muslim individuals in Mati, Davao Oriental, as ordered by then Police Major Ronald Bato de la Rosa and cleared by then Davao City 1st Congressman Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Kasi nung panahon pong yun, congressman po siya from 1999, if I'm not mistaken, or 1998 or 1999 to 2001. 2004 is the massacre of 11 Chinese Shabu laboratory chemists and workers in Laod Quarry. 2005, Between 2005 to 2007, massacre of 6 suspected pickpocket and shoplifting artists. They threw their bodies outside Davao City. 2000 to 2008, killings of the abducted persons in Laud Quarry. One was a Taiwanese national and 2 were Filipino nationals, whom Las Cañas thinks were collateral damage. Between 2008 to 2009, massacre of 3 Maranao Muslims suspected of being pickpockets and shoplift artists in Davao City. They threw their dead bodies in Davao Gulf. 2010, between 2010 to 2013, massacre of construction workers in Laod Quarry as witnessed by Mr. Sami Uy. Yun po yung enumeration ng mga some of the specific incidents of massacre. Again, manluluho po kayo kung babasahin nyo yung affidavit mismo ni Mr. Las Cañas. Last hearing, next slide please, I presented to you this organizational structure, the DDS organizational structure from 2001 to 2016, nung naging heinous crime investigation section na po yung anti-crime task force. So generalized lang po yan na chart, diagram of the organizational structure. Si Mr. Las Cañas po, meron po siyang ginawa na diagram din ng organizational structure ng DDS. This is supposed to be his own handwriting. The DDS inside the Anti-Crime Task Force in Davao City from 1989 to 1998. You will remember when I first made my presentation, there were actually 2 periods for the DDS, 1989 to 1998, then 2001 to 2016. The next slide would show the typewritten or printed version of this diagram as prepared by Arturo Las Cañas. So yan po yan. Pinaka nasa taas si Davao City Mayor RRD alias Superman. Tapos sila SPO4 Sunny Beneventura, the Chief Security of MRRD, Major Ernesto Macasaet of Anti-Crime Task Force Commander, and then meron Intel Network na mga galing sa barangay. Nandyan din po yung si Inspector Rodolfo Asenista, Deputy Commander, SPO4 Teodoro Pagidupon, Handler Banquerohan, Force Multiplier Players, SPO4 Desiderio Cloribel, Overall Team Leader, SPO4 Ben Laud, Handler Agdao Force, Multiplier Players, Mass Grave Laud Quarry. At iba pa, meron pa ho siyang mga binanggit na mga personality dito that part of the Anti-Crime Task Force of 1989 to 1998. Then there is somewhat modified diagram covering naman po yung period of 1998 to 2001 when Rodrigo Roa Duterte was 1st District Congressman. And siya rin po ang nandyan pa rin sa DDS. And nandyan pa rin sila Sunny Beneventura, SPO4 Desiderio D. Cloribel, and then Chief Inspector Ronald Batod de la Rosa, Chief PAOK TF of Davao City. At linilink ho sa kanya itong the Macdum case and several abductions and killings according to Mr. Las Cañas. Yan, meron hong mga detalyado na mga mga information, facts, more about the DDS multipliers. Then, the 2001 to 2016, meron uling modified chart or diagram of the DDS structure. Nandyan pa rin si MRRD. Nandyan yung Barangay Intel Network kasi doon nga ho nanggagaling mainly yung mga listahan na mga targets. Then, nandyan po si the former NBI Director, Attorney Dante Guieran. He's been mentioned by both Matobato and Las Cañas. Nandyan pa rin si Sunny Beneventura, si Ben Laod, And then itong si Deputy Major Mascarinas Agdao, handler of players. And then of course, si Arturo Las Cañas mismo as overall team leader and operation planning. He enumerated kung sino yung mga under him as overall team leader and operation planning. Sila Senior Inspector Fulgencio Pavo, SPO4, Reynaldo Capute, PO3, June Naresima, PO3 Arnold De Chavez, PO3 June Ayaw, PO3 June Humawan, PO3 Rizalino Aquino, PO3 Ben Furog, PO2 Ronald Lau. Meron din ho mga civilian assets. In the same affidavit, Las Cañas, next please, also identified the individuals directly and indirectly connected to the operations, the barangay officials directly and indirectly involved in the DDS killing spree, and the financial supporters of the DDS. Nandyan po ang listahan. Ang last ko po, as finale, is another video of Mr. Las Cañas, but this is supposed to be on the same date, October 8, 2020. But I understand, I have a note here that the tech guys are working on the audio. They're having a problem on the audio. So if we can please request for a short break or suspension just to fix the audio.
Okay, 1 minute suspension.